Well, hello there, everybody. Good Saturday afternoon. Cecil Pearson Jr. coming at you here live on YouTube. I'm going to talk with you a little bit about obedience and how that is just not always easy. And I'm going to use myself as an example. I ain't going to use nobody else, just myself. Oh, Brenda, Logan the Dew, Chrissy, Brother Bud. I want y'all to know I had not had a coughing fit all day until I started to set this live up and it struck. Go figure. Hello, Pamela. Jolie. Hello, Tony. Oh, Brent. I reckon he does there, Brent. That's part of what we're going to be talking about. Been kind of amazing. I'm just going to go ahead and get started. God told me to do this quail thing, and I did. Well, we fed people as far away as Bradenton, Florida, that didn't have money. For those of you who don't know where that's at, that's south of Tampa. Down around the Sarasota area. We sent Quail all the way back up into Illinois. Oh, he's my hope. We gave Quail away to people around here that just didn't have any money and didn't have any food. More than one occasion, these Quail have fed us when we didn't have anything. So I could certainly understand why God instructed me to grow quail. And it has been an absolute blast. But I'm changing. Not because I want to, but because I've been told to. The very few quail that we've got left, they're getting dispatched and put in the freezer, and they'll go out to people that need it, and well, they'll help feed us and maybe a fire department or something. I don't know. Just depends on what God tells me to do with it. Oh, chicken dinner. Well, one of the hardest things to do is to put money into something that you don't have any idea where it's going. You don't have any idea what it's going to do. You don't have no way of knowing if it's going to be successful or if it's going to be a failure. You just got no way of knowing. Now I've got this big incubator in here, and I've got this big hatcher in here Well, Brother Cecil, if you're not raising quail anymore, what are you going to do with the incubator and hatcher? Hatch chickens. Going to incubate and hatch chickens. Still going to get used, just for different poultry. Or different fowl, I might say. Right now, we've got some Isa Browns, and today we picked up some Silver Wyandottes. And I've looked online, these Silver Wyandottes are anywhere from $8 to $9 a piece. With Tractor Supply, they hadn't have any idea how much to charge for them. So they just scanned the box for pullets, and they charged us a little over $3 a piece for them. That's a blessing, because they didn't have much money. And God said, I got to get 2 more breeds of chicken. I got to have a breed for every greenhouse that's out there, which is 3, and 1 for the coop, which we've got, which is the Isa Browns. And so I have to make certain that what I get can not only be used for eggs, but can also be used for meat. They can be processed down and turned into fryers, or turned into broilers, or turned into soup chickens, whatever. They'll be able to feed people not only eggs, but the chickens that we hatch. Because the ones we hatch will go into a pen all their own, and those will be the ones that either go to market or go to feed people over at the homeless shelter, the Green River homeless area. I've heard of Selkies. We're not doing anything that's a small chicken. These Wyandotte chickens, I didn't know anything about them until today. Apparently, these things go anywhere from 6 to 9 pounds. These hens do. They get on up there in size now. That's a healthy chicken. And I'm gonna have to get me one of these automatic pluckers, because my hands won't do that. And but we ain't nowhere near that yet. Oh, Martha. I did. I think I said hello to Pamela. I'm not certain, but I want to make certain that I do. Hello. But being obedient with these chicken things is one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. Because I don't have the money that I used to have back when God would say, hey, I want you to do something for me. Back a long time ago, me and my wife was married before she died. He said, I sat in there one day and God said, I want you to put in 20 white chickens. 20 white chickens. Why am I putting in 20 white chickens? Well, the only white chickens I knew of was leghorn chickens, leghorns. We call them leghorns. I put them in. God, you said do it, I'll do it. I put up a chicken fence. I didn't even have a chicken pen built. I built a chicken pen, built some nesting boxes. I had hogs at the time. I don't know what y'all know about a Leghorn chicken, but a Leghorn chicken lays a lot of eggs. A lot of eggs. And before I could turn around and say, don't do it, when them things started laying, we were probably collecting between 20 and 40 dozen eggs a week. We'd give to all the neighbors until they were egg tight. They didn't need no more eggs. We had to eat eggs, pickled eggs. So we started scrambling the eggs up, feeding them to the hogs. Well, I got to tell you, it made the hogs get fat, but it put some stank on them, if you know what I mean. Hogs smell pretty bad as it is. But you go ahead and you give a hog a sulfur fart, why don't you? Shoo! I remember me and Ian down there in that pen. Cleaning the bedding out. And Ian was like, "Ooh, Daddy, it's hot." I said, "No, son, it's not. It's 30 degrees. He goes, "No, it's hot." Well, as time went by, my wife really enjoyed having the chickens. And I'm sitting there splitting up wood, and I hear very distinctly, "Hey, CJ, yes, God, I want you to put in 20 red chickens too." 20 red chickens. I got 20 white ones now, and I don't know what to do with the eggs. And now you want me to do 20 reds? That's going to double the eggs. What am I going to do with that? I'll take care of it. Just do as I told you. I said, "God, I ain't even got the lumber to make the chicken house. And I got no money." God said, "You got a 2x4. That's enough." "Oh, God, it's not. A 1 2x4 is not enough to make a chicken house. But hey, you say do it, I'll do it." And I got out there and I put 2 logs down on the ground. And me and my son had milled out some poplar boards. And we used that to put a floor in with. Nice and sturdy floor, beautiful, beautiful floor. For a chicken house now. The best lumber that I had on the place was that poplar wood. I mean, it was beautiful. Made that chicken house floor. I said, Gail, go in there and get me that 2x4. And we'll see. We'll see how far it'll go on making studs. Well, she went in there and she come back out and she said, there's 2x4s in there. Here's one. I went, okay, there wasn't but one in there. She goes, I know, but now there's 2. I said, okay. She said, there's one left. I said, oh, okay. Well, we measured and cut it and put up a couple of studs with that 1 2x4. I said, go back and get me the other one. And she come out and she said, there's another 2x4 in there after this one. And 2x4s kept appearing out of thin air. Every time we'd use one, there'd be 2 in the barn. Every time we'd use one, there'd be 2 in the barn. I'm not kidding a bit. There wasn't nobody sneaking in 2x4s. God was doubling the 2x4s for me to do what he told me to do. We got the whole thing framed up. Went through a total of about 24 2x4s. When we finished, there was 2 2x4s in the barn. I'd only had one to begin with. Now I had double what I started with. I said, God, what am I supposed to do about walls for this thing? He said, you got that stuff over there. Go peel the metal off of it and put it on the sides. You'll also use that for the roof. I said, God, there ain't enough of it. Do what I told you. Yes, God. We took it off, put the metal up, put the metal up, put the metal up. And when we laid the final pieces of metal for the roof, there was exactly enough metal to meet the need of that chicken house. And it did not leak a drop. Not a drop. It was one of the most soundest buildings on the farm. As a matter of fact, after we left there and left that farm, a tornado come through. And it took the barn. The chicken house is sitting here, and on the other side of the barn was the chicken house. Both of them sat right against the barn. There was wall of barn, chicken house. Wall of barn, chicken house on the other side. Tornado came through and took that barn. Both of them chicken houses that God instructed on how to build stood right where they were supposed to be. They still there today. They still there today. And there's no way I, as a carpenter, would have ever framed any building the way that was done. I never would have studied any building the way that one was done. Studs were staggered. Braces were at different heights. Nothing lined up. Nothing. But the building couldn't be broke. Let that sink in a minute. I followed God's instructions. It wasn't easy obeying God, but I obeyed him to the letter, and it worked out. Those chickens we could not keep in the chicken pen. They wouldn't stay. They'd dig out. We'd fix it. I concreted around the cotton picking thing. They dug under the concrete to get out. They fed animals. Dogs would catch them. They fed dogs. They laid eggs. They fed us. We ate chicken. They fed us. The neighbors ate chicken. They fed the neighbors. And when we left, there was no chickens left. None. It was good right down to almost the last day we were there. That's God. I used my Tractor Supply discount yesterday. I get $10 off ever so often for shopping at Tractor Supply. That's where we buy our propane at. And it's easy to get up that $10. I used that $10 discount yesterday to buy the Isa Browns. When I went in there today to get these ones what God has sent me after today, I went to get one kind. They didn't have them. That's what I thought he wanted me to have. Nope. It was the ones that was there, the Wyandotte chickens. And when I looked them up, I understood it. It was a meat chicken and an egg chicken. Like, got you, God, I understand. I'm going to buy them. I'm going to buy them. I got the starter feed at the house to feed them, so I'm going to buy them. But it ain't going to leave me nothing left. So you best make a way. But I'm going to buy them. And I heard 15 of them. We got 15 of them. They out there in the brooder. Under the heat lamp, staying warm. And it's trying to snow. Cold as all get out. I'm colder than a well digger's backside and him digging a product and him digging a well in Nome, Alaska. But them chickens is warm. Them chicks are warm. They got good water. They got good feed. Everything that they need. And I got to get 2 more brands. I have no idea what they're going to be. I have no clue. None. I won't know till I get to the store and God says, that's the ones. And then he'll tell me how many of them to get. But I won't have no clue. But every single time I have obeyed God, regardless of the difficulty that was entailed in obeying him, I've always come out ahead. Always come out ahead. I obeyed him with the quail, and I'm now obeying him with the chicken. And I know I'll come out ahead. I don't know how, because I can't see that far down. But God can see, folks. God can see. I can't see, but God can see. You can't see what God wants you to do. Or maybe you can see what he wants you to do, but you don't know why he wants you to do it. It don't matter why. The matter is that you obey, regardless. I took the last little bit of money I had and bought them 15 chickens. That was the last little bit of money I had. But I obeyed God and bought them 15 chickens. Why? Because God said to. He said he'd take care of everything else. So I bought the chickens. That's me trusting God and God trusting me to be obedient to him. Don't you want God to trust you to be obedient to him? I have learned over the last 10 years, when God says do something, just go do it. Just go do it. It won't make a lick of sense right at the moment that you're doing it. And this doesn't make any sense. None. It makes no sense. But Gail was sitting right over there, and I was talking with her yesterday afternoon because this burden hit me. And honey, it was a burden. It had me crying. All I want to do is to be able to feed folk and help folk what can't help themselves. That's my only desire. I have no desire to try to get rich off chickens. I don't know if y'all know it or not, but ain't no money in chicken. No, they ain't. But then again, there wasn't no money in the quail neither. Weren't no money in it. But look how many people was fed as far away as Bradenton, Florida, up into Illinois, over into eastern Kentucky, over into western Kentucky, and right here in central Kentucky. Look how many people was fed because I chose to be obedient and do what God said do. And that's the difference in me and a lot of different Christians. I don't question when God says, I want you to do this. I just go do it. I'm not certain that's God talking. No, I know it's God talking because I feel the gnawing in the pit of my stomach, and I feel the burden and the condemnation. For every hour I don't do it, I feel more and more condemned until I go do what God said do, and then every bit of that burden is lifted right off me. That's how I know it's God, is because I have done exactly what the Father said do. We all need to be this way, each and every one of us. We need to stop questioning God so much and just start obeying Him. We need to stop going, why do you want me to do that, God? That don't make no sense. I can't believe that'd be you doing that. You'd let me know what the outcome was going. You don't need to know the outcome. You only need to know the starting point. God knows the outcome. You may never see the outcome. You may never know the good that your obedience has done because you don't ever know who's watching you, who's studying you, who's looking to see if and you did what you was told to do. You don't ever know. You don't ever know the good that you've done by the actions that you've taken. You never see all of the seeds that you plant, but they grow. You plant them, and God tends them, and they turn into something beautiful. You plant them with your faith, with your obedience, by His guidance and by His hand. With your faith and your obedience, you plant seeds you never see. But God tends those seeds. And with those seeds, when they grow into something beautiful. And you never know the full outcome of what you've done. Oh, devil, I hate you. I have no idea how I'm to buy these other two breeds or what they're to be. I don't know. I won't know until God says, go here and do this. I was going to get McDonald's for the kids today. Granddaddy was going to surprise them. Surprise! Granddaddy got a surprise, and I bought chickens instead. Because I listened to God. And again, I don't know what the outcome's going to be, and I don't care. I'm doing what I was told, y'all. And we're going to find out together, I reckon. Because I'll let you know. I'm going to keep y'all apprised of this. I'm going to let you know what the outcome of this is together. But I want you to understand something. We all need to be a little more obedient and a lot less suspicious of what God wants you to do. God's not going to have you do anything that's going to hurt you or cause you discomfort. He may have you do something that's going to stretch out your faith and test it just a little bit, but that's all right. You can pass that test, can't you? If you can't, then you need to go look up the song from the shepherd's point of view and listen at it. Because he sees things that we don't see. And he knows things that we don't know. And we just have to trust that he knows what he's doing. I know I do. And it's hard sometimes, especially when I'm as sick as I am. But I still trust that God knows what he's doing. And I still do what God tells me to do. And I hope that each and every one of you will be more obedient. That you'll take a lesson from old CJ and be just a little more obedient. Now, I love you guys, not nearly as much as God, but I love y'all. And the good Lord willing and the creek don't rise, I see y'all again on Monday. Love you. Bye now.